What up? Seth Miranda here. This is Adorama Rewind, and it's going to be a smash and grab job this week. Pretty quick, but very pertinent stuff. You're going to hear the AC the entire time because it is sweltering humid, as always. I feel like every week I'm just complaining about the humidity. But let's get into some really important stuff. If you own a Canon, check this out. Canon DSLRs can be hacked with ransomware remotely. This comes from Hackernews. So they show this video where just through the Wi-Fi, they can get into a camera. After they shoot it, the photos get stored, and then when they go back into it, the hacker can remotely get in there and send ransomware to the camera. So when they check it looks like it's writing to the SD card, but then when they check the images, they get a message which is basically instructions on what to do to get your images back, which is basically ransom, right? They want to get Bitcoin or something else, but usually Bitcoin because that's the most anonymous way to get funded. This is a serious thing. It can affect all Canon EOS DSLRs mirrorless. They're saying some specific models here. I'll show you right here. They're saying SLR mirrorless PowerShot SX740HS, PowerShot SX70HS, and the PowerShot G5X Mark II. So if you have any of those cameras, or if you have a Canon in general, check in on this. Check out what you can do. I would shut off your Wi-Fi. Don't connect it to a computer. Anything that's connectable to the camera, shut it down until there's a firmware update. Just keep yourself safe. I mean, who knows what's out there, and then people are trying anything these days. And if they can get into an electronic device and there's something valuable in that electronic device, of course it's susceptible, right? Okay, or a target, I should say. In some uplifting news, Adobe updated Lightroom, and what they basically did, which was really, and this is the classic, not the other Lightroom that no one's really using. What they're basically doing is taking advantage of the higher end graphics cards that are in computers now. So they're making Lightroom faster through that, which is a big deal. A lot of people complain about the speed of Lightroom. A lot of people checked out CaptureOne and other software. I'm a fan of CaptureOne. I am going to check this out. I am curious how the performance is with this update. However, you know, it still converts raw files different from CaptureOne. Everybody has their own take on what camp they like to go into. In the end, it's your files, your images. You do what you want. But if you have Lightroom Classic, update it, because it seems like they skyrocketed the performance. But speaking of CaptureOne, if you're a student, there's a great deal now. Students can save 65% on CaptureOne. Yep, and if you subscribe, it's only $7 a month. That is crazy affordable, and that's a good move by CaptureOne to get people who are starting out in this industry or craft and get them started on learning on CaptureOne, and they grow with it and they stick with it for their whole career. Usually that's how a lot of companies do it. They get into EDU, and they get people to learn off of what they want them to carry through for their professional career. So if you are interested in CaptureOne and you are a student, I would totally take advantage of this. That's a humongous discount and pretty awesome. While we're on software, let's just talk about Instagram. So PDN put this out. They said they found a way to kind of ride the Instagram algorithm to get you more circulation and engagement on your posts, because a lot of people complaining about, like, oh, I put something up and I got like 1/3 the likes and no comments. They're saying, hey, to trigger an algorithm, this is, I mean, I don't think anyone's really proven this. It's kind of theory. I'm throwing it out there for you guys to do it. They say, take your image, put it up there. And before you post it, put one of the filters down and set it all the way low so it doesn't affect the image at all. It's just activated, right? And then Instagram will go like, oh, they're using our features. Let's push this more because it shows more about Instagram, and it'll push Instagram more and get more users, and then more eyes mean more ads mean more money. So here's your homework, kids. Take an image. The next time you go post it, throw it up there before you post it. Take any filter and just dial it all the way down, or try to find one that doesn't affect your image that much at all and dial it all the way down till it's still exactly what you wanted, just not completely pure. And put it up there and see if anything has changed for you in your algorithm or Instagram itself. I'm pretty curious, and I'm sending it to you guys. I'll try it, maybe, sort of, I don't know. But write back to me in the comments below if this worked for you. So a couple weeks ago, maybe even more, we talked about a 15-inch MacBook that went on fire. The battery exploded. Lithium-ion batteries, they're volatile, and this is nothing new, but Mac said Apple says that there was a recall, right? So I gave you guys a link. You type in your serial number, and they'll let you know if your battery was one of the ones affected by the recall. Well, now the FAA is saying they're banning 15-inch MacBook Pros from flying due to battery recall. Some 15-inch MacBook. So this is the original one that went on fire. These are the actual photos from the last time we talked about it. And what they're basically saying is that if you had a MacBook Pro sold between September 2015 and February 2017, you have to go and check out the serial number if it's part of the recall. If it is part of the recall, it's banned from flights unless it's been repaired. What I can't seem to find is how they will figure out if it's been repaired or not. I don't know if there's some sort of sticker or some sort of marking next to the serial number or whatever, or if they'll even go to that length to check out if it's been repaired or whatever, but that is a real thing. They are banning them on flights. I'm one of those people that has that era of MacBook, but it wasn't affected by the recall. So I'm wondering where we go from here, but I'm gonna keep on snooping around and seeing what they're actually looking for before you get on a flight to tell if it was rebuilt. So hang tight on that. DJI came out with another Osmo Mobile. This is the third in the series. So this is the newest iteration. It is lower in price and the thing folds. So I did the video on it on Adorama TV. Here's what I look like at the end of the day after rewind and everything else. And this is real. So the real thing that sets it apart is the app and the functionality that it can do in the camera with the tracking. There's a lot of cool things that happen here. You can see here, it has the latest in pigeon tracking technology. I mean, look at that, unbelievable. This is real screen capture. DJI has been doing some great things with the gimbals, and the app just keeps on elevating what the ability of these gimbals are. So if you're someone that's really big on vlogging or uses your phone a lot or is thinking of having a phone as like a second shooter or some sort of just social footage while you're working another job, it's a pretty low cost way to elevate your content. So check that out. In some little bit more pricier stuff, Leica unveils the Summicron SL 50mm f2, which is about $4,500. Yes, so it is an SL lens, which means that it has the L mount. So this lens can fit onto anything with the L mount, including the Panasonics that are out, the S series. Of course, Leica glass is amazing, and the color space that's on there, that's in the glass is some of the best I've ever seen personally. It is a hefty price tag, but that is Leica luxury. That's nothing new. Just want to let you guys know if you are a Leica shooter and you're in the market for a great 50mm, there's an f2 for you right there. And let's bring it back down to earth a little bit more with some analog news. The photographer found this chromographic double dry plate holder now funding on Kickstarter. So if you're a plate shooter like tin types or glass plate or whatever, these are actually 4x5, 5x7, and 8x10 plastic plate holders for large format photography. And you can see here that these are sheet film holders that people mistake a lot for plate film holders, and I have 10 tons of these, but what you don't usually see is a lot of plate holders. And here's an antique one made out of wood, and those do warp and things like that. They can rot, other things. So if you're interested in that, or you're someone that's trying to get into plate, check out this link. You might be able to find a lot of brand new film holders at a decent price that's up to date pretty much. And plastic, you know, the wooden antique ones are amazing, and they're just cool, the history that's in them, but a lot of times when you find them, they're rotted, the plate doesn't sit flat, they're twisted, you can't get the plate in there, or they weren't cut to correct size sometimes, I found at least. So check that out in the link below. And just to cap this all off, I wanted to show you guys some stuff that's happening on Adorama's channels. Right here you have You Shoot Videos, filmed by Morgan Cooper, the behind the scenes. This is awesome, and we get to do these really cool things every now and then, and if you're into filmmaking, this is a great short 6-minute clip to just get you the idea of what it takes to really put together a film and the thought process, and its production quality is really great. I'm pretty psyched on it. So check that out in the link below. And I'm gonna be very selfish right here and let you guys know I did a live stream this past week on character photography, or character lighting rather, and it's right there on Facebook. So if you go to Adorama, facebook.com/Adorama, you can see how I started talking about sculpting light, and we made him look like he was in a rainy car, you know, in the street, and then I did some crazy, like weird, let me see if I can get some, oh, there we go, some more like weird ethereal looking shots, and definitely looks like X-Files. But just do yourselves a favor. If you are plugged into Adorama and you haven't checked out our Facebook page, check out facebook.com/Adorama and go to the videos, and all the live stuff that happens here in the event space, pretty much like 90% of it is right there on Facebook. So seminars, classes, gear, some stuff from vendors to show you some new gear, and of course live shoots from me and Daniel and other people. Gary Hughes did a great demo on headshots here. If you're someone that's looking to get into that business, check that out. Really, really great stuff. There's definitely stuff from Vanessa Joy on there. David Bergman, great stuff from David Bergman. Check that out. Okay, this, like I said, this was a smash and grab job, so I'm gonna leave it there. But question of the week is, based on this Canon thing, what do you feel about the security of your digital archives? Do you feel that, whoop, so look at that, I'm dropping keyboards everywhere now. What do you guys do for security as far as all the digital? Do you encrypt things? Do you have some crazy software that locks down your stuff? Let me know down below what you guys do to keep yourselves safe in this digital era. I would like to know. But till next time, I will see you. Hit like, write me down in the comments. I'll see you there. Share this around. And of course, subscribe. We're so close to 1 million subscribers on this channel, and you know we're going to do something big when we hit it. So go ahead and help us get there. Tell your friends to come join on if you're a fan of this channel. We're working pretty hard, and there's a lot of big things coming, I promise. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.